Welcome to Dittofi. My name is Ugo and I'm a solutions architect for Dittofi. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to implement a graph on Dittofi. So taking a look at the screen here, we have a table called prices customer amounts. And in this table, we have the amount of customers, the average price that the customers paid, and the directory. So we're using the directory ID as a representation of the directory. So the first step is to create a backend action that gets the entire data in this table. So we navigate to the backend actions page, then we click on new action. So we'll just call it, let's call it get graph data. Click enter. Then we add a trigger. So let's create an endpoint and then call it get. And then let's add a variable. So the variable is going to be a collection. Let's call the variable response. And then we select the model, prices customer amount. We click save. Then we map the response variable to here so that the result of the endpoint is going to be saved in the response variable that looks like the collection of all the items at the table. So we'll click save, then we click on build code so we can test it out. So this shouldn't take up to 2 minutes. So the code is building. So we simply created a backend action to fetch the information that we have in the table prices customer amounts. And so we're going to test it out. Run the action. Alright, so we have the directory ID, the amount of customers, and the average price. So then we navigate to the front end part of the application. So we have here, I created a page and just added some simple styling. So the amount of customers versus the average price. So what we can do is to navigate to the element section of the screen. Then we can find a chart. We drag the chart onto the screen, and each chart has to have like a fixed height. And in order to give a chart or any elements, any UI elements, a fixed height, the first step is to assign it a class. So a class is, we can give it a unique name. So we can call it graph underscore fixed underscore height. Click enter. Then we now use any of this information on the right hand side of the screen. So then we click on sizing, height. So we'll give it 300 pixels. Alright. Then we now attach the graph to a backend action. So we click on use data from. We'll find the backend action we just created, which is get graph data. Then we assign the x-axis. So the information we're going to use for the x-axis, let's use the second. So we'll use the amount of customers for the x-axis. And then for the y-axis, which is the line, yeah. So we can use the price. So call it average price. Yep. So we can also decide to add a bar chart as well if we want to. So we can just add average price as well to the bar chart. That's it. So the x-axis area, degrees area, the bar, average price, another line, average price. Then click on build code so we can test it out. Let's copy the link to the page. So the page slash graph. Alright, so it's building. Alright, so click on preview. Alright, so let's go to the page. As you can see, we have the line, we have the bar charts. So this represents the average price versus the amount of customers that visit a particular directory listing. So in order to conclude this video, what we did here was try to demonstrate how to implement a graph in Dittofi. The first step, of course, provided that we have a table that we want to use to depict in the graph, the first step is to create a backing action. So the backing action we created was called get graph data, and the backing action is a simple backing action that retrieves all the information that we have in the table. So the table is the price is customer amount. So we simply map the response variable to the endpoint response variable, and then we now go to the front end and we use the elements, the chart elements. So this is the element that we use, and we ensure that the element has a fixed height. So this is which is what we did here, and then we map certain data keys to the model columns. So basically, the data key is the information we want to depict in the table, so the amount of customers and the average price, and then we build the code, and this is where we get the results. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, and see you soon.